Hi and welcome. My name is Angela, if we haven't met, and this is Prevention in My Kitchen. You're in my kitchen. So I am a family educator, a preventionist. I look at ways to increase the likelihood that kids will have a great, healthy childhood into their teen years. And then we work with families on what that looks like. And the reason that you're in my kitchen is because most prevention or most family building really happens in quick conversations. They're not like the big things, they're like the little skills that you learn. So I invite you into my kitchen. I usually just do what I'm normally doing, although today I'm doing something a little bit different, and I'll share that with you in a moment. But while I'm doing it, while I'm cooking or preparing something for my family, I just share one quick strategy with you that you can actually implement in the moment. So welcome to Prevention in My Kitchen, and welcome to my kitchen. All right, so before I start, today we're actually going to talk about something that I call the 5-minute reset. This is a great way to just increase communication with your kiddos, especially if they get a little bit, like if kids get a little bit older and things start to get a little disconnected. One of the things that you want to do is have like kind of a family reset. How do you reset so kids are more likely to share with you, that they'll talk to you, they'll let you in a little bit on their lives? While we're talking about the 5-minute reset, I'm going to share with you a recipe, true story, that I have been making for my kids for years. Now, I haven't actually made this in a long time, but it's one of my favorite recipes to make. A friend of mine who watches our videos I hate these cans. Do you guys hate these cans too? I'm scared that it's going to pop my eye out. I need a spoon. Hold on. Okay. God, I hope this thing doesn't pop. I literally never do this. This is for you, people. This is for you. Oh, see, that hurt. Okay. So you get these biscuits. A friend of mine, we were talking about, he watches our videos for the value of, actually doesn't have any kids at home or whatever, but he watches our videos because he loves the idea of communication. We talk actually a lot, not just about communication with our kiddos, but also with our partners. And for him, I'm making monkey bread. Okay, so many recipes online, friends. I'll just share with you. You just get the biscuits, you break them into quarters. You can cut them, you can break them, whatever you want. And then you're gonna toss them with some cinnamon sugar. This is probably one of the easiest recipes ever. I'm also doing a version today for my husband who would not eat this kind of sugar. So I'm gonna do two. Normally you would do these like in a bundt pan or something, but A, I could not find my bundt pan. Not that I've used it in a very long time. Excuse me. But B, we need just about a cup of sugar in here. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. Actually, I think this is probably just a cup that's left in here. So we'll just take the rest of it. And we're gonna throw a little bit of cinnamon in there. I think just a couple of teaspoons, but again, I'm just gonna eyeball it. This is one of those things where it could be a little more cinnamony or a little less cinnamony, no big deal. I brought this out for you because I thought you might like to see that if you're doing a big batch, like 2 full containers of that or 3 small containers of these Grand's biscuits, that you could actually do it in a paper bag. And you put everything in here at once, and then you just kind of fold it up. Because what you're trying to do, I'm not gonna do that method because I am just breaking this in half. But then what you would do is then you would just take all of it at once and do it. But I'm not gonna do that. All right, so you're just trying to get big chunks in here. You don't have to be perfect. I'm gonna be less than perfect. But we're gonna send this over to our friend Brian after this is all said and done. All right, so let's just talk about this 5-minute reset while I'm making my first batch of this. So you ever have a kid, and you know this is true, they come in the house, say after school, or maybe you come home from work or whatever, and you ask them, how was your day? Fine. Isn't that like the way that they always answer? And you feel, especially when they get to that age, like when they're younger, they want to tell you everything. They can't wait to tell you. In fact, one of our kids, we've got 8 kids. God, the most fun I have ever had is raising all those kids. We've got 8 kids, and some of them were like Chatty Cathy. Like you could get them to tell you anything as long as you wanted them to, for like years they would share. And some of them completely would not share, and you really had to get just a little more creative on getting them to share like their thoughts and their feelings and who they are and what's happening in their lives. I just finished breaking them apart. I'm just going to shake it up real good. Anyway, so just thinking about those kids that don't share a lot, or you can't really get them to share a lot, just asking that question like, how was your day? It's just not productive. They're just not going to answer. Hold on, I got to spray my pan. So one of the things that you want to think about is you want to consider, what could you say to get them to start to open up? Now, if you're anything like me, I want to know everything. Sorry, I don't want to spray onto the kitchen floor. I want to know everything, but everything is not good. They're not going to ever share everything with us. So you have to think about, how am I going to get them to share enough that that they feel comfortable with, but also enough that helps us to know what's going on. So I'm gonna just dump these in here. I do need to check though, hold on one second, friends, because I need to remember. So once you shake this up, then you dump everything into the pan, including the extra sugar. Sorry, Brian. Hope your diabetes is not active right now. That's very cinnamon sugary. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so good. And then I'll also let you know that you then take some brown sugar and some melted butter. I just put a 1/4 cup of melted butter. I melted a 1/4 cup of butter in here. And then I'm just gonna add some brown sugar. It's calling for 1/2 cup packed. Again, this is not rocket science, friends. I'm literally gonna eyeball this 1/2 cup. Also, I just put a ton of sugar in there, so maybe I'll do a little less. It is going to Brian, but what it's gonna do, and I know you've made monkey bread before, what it's gonna do is it's gonna make like a little sauce. Oh my God, so good! Anywho, so back to our idea of having this conversation, like, what could you say to get them to talk? Because that whole like, how was your day? Or like, what did you do today? Doesn't really work because they don't wanna share. So let's say, for example, you see the kid is just a little bit off. Like, you know how you can tell? You know how you could tell. You don't need me to tell you that, but you know how you could tell that they're just a little bit off? I always say that the reason that I can tell that they're a little bit off is because they're mine. Whether these are your birth kids or they're kids that you have loved and raised over the years, or maybe they're even like your grandkids, maybe they're nieces and nephews, they're your people. You can feel it in your gut when something's off. Always go with that gut. But it doesn't matter if you're having that gut emotion, doesn't make it more likely that they're gonna answer. So what you do is you just kind of side up to them. Maybe while you're making monkey bread, maybe they come in the room. I'm trying to melt this a little bit. I don't want a greasy monkey bread. So maybe they come into the room and you notice that something's off. Instead of asking like, hey, what's going on with you? Or, starting with that, hey, how's your day? Which actually does put a lot of pressure on them to come up with what the answer was. You can just have a brief conversation about maybe what you're doing, or ask if they want to help, or chat about the monkey bread, or whatever it is that you happen to be doing. Or maybe you saw some video that day that you can share with them. You want to just connect with them before you're asking them to really reveal everything to you. All right, good. That monkey bread going in the oven. We need to figure out a way to decide which one's sugar and which one's not. Okay, remind me, everyone, I'm gonna put the sugary one on the right side of the oven. So, in the conversation with them, what you do is, let's say you're ready to have a conversation about what actually is happening with them. In that case, what you could say to them is, I noticed you seem a little off today, and then let it go. Don't press, don't push, don't try and demand that they tell you. All you're doing is you're just kind of like making space for that, right? You're just like opening the door. And then once they do, you don't freak out. When they do start to tell you, oh yeah, there's this thing going on, or there's that thing going on, then you say things like, that sounds really frustrating. Or, wow, that might have made me angry also. So what you're doing is it's almost like, friends, you're standing alongside them instead of standing in front of them. And I know, because I'm a mom, that thing comes up in you, like you get angry, like you want to fix it, but actually they need to learn how to fix it. Try that this week. I'm going to start making one more kind. I'm going to do this one because we're trying to cut down on sugar. I don't actually even know if he's going to eat this, but we'll find out later. But try that sometimes, where you're making space for them so that they can open up to you. Don't make them pay a price if they do. You understand what I mean? Sometimes we make them pay a price because we want them to be okay. And so the price for them is we just ask a bunch more questions, or we get angry on their behalf, and that won't help them. It's not going to get them to open up the door anymore. They'll actually consider, ooh, should I have even told her? You're just trying, or him, you're just trying to open the door and then leave it there so that they can come and walk through the door. Think about what you would want somebody to say to you if you shared something that was really tough. No, remember, it's an emotion. It can be like an emotional football, and they don't need you to punt it back to them. They need you just to listen so that you can help carry it a little bit. All right, friends, I'm going to keep making this. We're going to post a picture of what it looks like when it's all said and done, maybe even what it tastes like. We'll have to tell you that. But again, this is monkey bread. That is your 5-minute recess. Remember, friends, this is not magic. We're not talking about magic. We're talking about communication, especially when things are tough. Please try this. Let us know if it worked, how it worked, what the conversation might have looked like. You can send us messages. Remember, you can always get lots of great information on our deltaprevention.org website, where you can actually join classes. We do online classes, we do live classes. You can find us on Facebook, Delta Prevention. We even have a podcast, Good Friends, Strong Family. So share this with somebody else who you know might be struggling, having a brief 5-minute reset with their kid that actually might help them. So thank you so much. Thanks for staying along. And let me know if you make the monkey bread with or without sugar. Take care, everyone.